Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, we were all geeked up for a battle royale in the Coliseum in Bristol on Saturday night. And what happens? Well, some say the greatest driver out there on the planet dominates the race. Did it blow? Was it fantastic? What do you think? Crash Gladys, Statman, Kenny Sargent, Richard C. Suave, Speed Freaks. Again, on the Freak Radio Network and, of course, on MAV TV. Thank you guys for hanging out. Kyle Larson with domination, man. And depending on what side of the fence you're on, some people were bitching and moaning about, well, there wasn't enough passing. What the hell did Kyle Larson do to reach his way back up to the – come on with this. And I know what
sounds so much like Martinsville from the spring. There's not enough passing, and then Statman helped to bring up the stats. And it's like, oh, well, then how did all these cars do what they did on track? They passed. There was passing that happened.
I mean, Statman, I'm with you. When you come into Bristol, you expect carnage, shrapnel, fists, fights, people jumping out of the stands on top of cars, going bananas. But we saw very little of that on Saturday night, bud.
It's hard to get involved when somebody is running away with everything. You know, it's like the Yankees or the New England Patriots. If somebody is winning everything and leading every lap and passing everybody, and you go to the bathroom and come back, is he still leading? And, you know, what's the point?
Richard C. Suave, our good friend Jeff Gluck, put the poll out there as he does after every race. Jeff Gluck, a great follow on X for your NASCAR insight. And he puts a poll out there asking the fans. He gets thousands and thousands of votes, what they thought about that race. And it looked to be overwhelming that a lot of folks weren't happy with that race.
Not shocked to see that 73% voted no in the Was Bristol a Good Race poll on the Jeff Gluck Twitter account.
Oh, my gosh. Almost 3/4 of the fans. 73%?
73%.
Yeah, there's other quarter of a percent said it was a great race because they're Kyle Larson fans.
But hold on. Let's put things into perspective. If this was at Daytona, okay, if this was at Martinsville, if this was at Kansas, would we still be thinking and saying the same thing? Because, again, like I said 2 minutes ago, Bristol, it's about carnage, wrecks, working your way up from behind, things being thrown out on the track.
Fights,
the heated exchange. It's Saturday night, bull ring, Coliseum-style racing that we didn't see. Is that what the entire basis is of those at 70% that says it was not a good race?
It's hard when that's your preconceived notion coming into a track that has delivered that very type of racing in the past and not delivered a dominant performance. So, yes, that has to be part of the psychology behind this voting tally that is sitting around 73% of the fan base saying that Bristol in the Cup Series was a bad race Saturday night. However, I'm going to read you the winner. It is a winner's quote. It is from Kyle Larson, but just let this sink in for a little bit. I know you guys probably think that the race in the spring was better, but as a driver, I would way rather run 100% all night long for 500 laps than run 50% managing my tires. I don't think that's much of a race. I grew up racing different stuff where you do push the whole race, but I think that version of Bristol tonight is way more exciting.
Kyle Larson talking about, was this the best car he's ever driven for Hendrick Motorsports?
My car was really good. I've had lots of great race cars at Hendrick Motorsports. Sometimes they've turned into wins. A lot of times, they haven't. I look at, kind of one that is more recent would probably be like Iowa this year. I felt like my car was extremely good there. And just unfortunately, didn't close out that one. But yeah, I don't know. 2021, I had a lot of great cars. I don't know. I could, if I looked at the schedule, I could probably point out some great cars, but tonight was definitely one of them.
Kyle Larson, after the Bristol win on Saturday night, Richie, you saw more of the race than I did. Given the lack of entertainment factor of those 70%, I mean, it's not like Kyle Larson has been dominant through the tail end of the regular season and in the playoffs. The guy goes out and dominates a race. Why can we put the hate on the guy or on the race?
Oh, I will tell you this. It should have been I think that 23 per 25%, 27%. My math is terrible. I went to Arizona State.
27. Don't worry.
Is generous. And the only reason that made that race watchable at all is because it was an elimination race. And so there were stakes. And this is something that Kenny and Stanman, you guys have both talked about on the show in the past. It's hard to get into something unless there are stakes involved, especially in a race like this, which long green flag runs, not a lot of passing, not a lot of drama for the most part throughout pretty much the entire race. The only thing that kept me interested was I was constantly watching those 4 and 5, 6 drivers vying for those final couple of spots into the next round of the playoffs. And it was close, right? Daniel Suarez had the worst race you can imagine. He was 4 laps down, right? Down and out of the race. And he managed to sneak in by just a couple of points, right? It was that close of a battle. And that was the only thing that made this race interesting. There were stakes behind Martin Truex Jr. speeding on pit road. There was stakes behind Ty Gibbs' mistakes on pit road that made this race somewhat watchable from start to finish. Oh, and it got over in less than 3 hours, which is great too. I will applaud that. That was also nice to see.
More of that, please, especially on a Saturday night.
Statman, we've seen our share of football, baseball, basketball games, sports other than racing, where, again, those champions step up in championship moments. And I'm not knocking Martin Truex, but I might be pointing a finger at Gibbs and maybe a couple of others that when, and not necessarily them specifically, but those teams, the 0.09 seconds that are mile per hour, right? That mile per hour that Martin Truex was speeding down pit lane that got him booted with the penalty, and Gibbs with the issues. Championship teams step up. Kyle Larson to win his first championship at Phoenix Raceway. That's where what's the old saying, where the rubber meets the road with the teams and the driver stat, this is where the championship teams pull their ass through.
Yeah, I agree with you. I say that the team is the one that gets Larson, doesn't get enough credit for Larson's success. He won his championship when the team got him out of the pits before anybody else, and like 4 tires and fuel pit stop in 7 or 8 seconds, I think it was. Some incredible number like that. So yes, when you have the field covered and everybody is just trying to stay out of the way to get to the next round, and the few guys that are racing each other are back behind him, it does make for a dull race because everything is decided except for 2 or 3 cars that are bumping around or you get a penalty. The 4 guys who got eliminated, 2 of them weren't worthy of going forward, and the other 2 were having inconsistent seasons and probably didn't deserve to go any further in the championship run.
Can we have a moment of silence for Harrison Burton's playoffs being over?
Attaboy.
That experiment didn't work, NASCAR. Sorry.
Well, hey, here's a perfect example. Crasher, you and I, what Super Bowl was it with the Falcons and the Patriots, Suave?
51.
All right.
In Atlanta?
Yeah.
No.
No, it wasn't in Atlanta. No. My point is, we hopped in the car middle or towards the tail end of the third quarter because Falcons were going to grab their first freaking Super Bowl championship.
24-3? Is that what it was?
They were 3 touchdowns behind. Or the Patriots were 3 touchdowns down. And then all of a sudden, TV start clicking back on, man, because here come the Patriots. Oh, my God, the Patriots win. that's how we are as sports fans. We always believe that something else can happen. I'm at a freaking Phoenix Rising soccer game, watching Phoenix Rising take on San Antonio FC Saturday night, and I'm peeking down on my phone watching college football and watching the freaking Bristol race because Kyle Larson's leading his ass off, but I still believe something can happen. And as sports fans, that's the greatness about sports is something can happen. Kyle Larson that right front could go out on lap 2 and change the dynamics of that race. So,
well, guess what? Then let's give credit where credit's due on this something can happen. Austin Cindric, what did he get this first round of the playoffs? A 10th, and a 13th? Credit where credit's due. Okay. Chase Briscoe finished this last race 8th, had a phenomenal Watkins Glen as well. Credit where credit's due. I mean, I'm not saying that they're destined to win the championship now, but they're stepping up at the right moment, both the team and the drivers in those 2 cars. So, yeah, let's watch and see what's going on there.
It's true for Daniel Suarez crashed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He had a 2nd and I think an 8th or a 10th or something. And he finished 32nd at Bristol, but he had enough points in the first 2 events to last, to get to the next round. So, yeah, that's perfect examples.
Freak Nation, we're going to hear more from Kyle Larson. Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming in next. Speaking of trials and tribulations, what he had to go through to get through that race, the Xfinity Series race on Friday night. We'll hear from him.
That was rough.
Also coming up, Rico Abreu, Antron Brown, and more. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add 1 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. 1 bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
This freaking segment's brought to you by good friends at General Tires. Now through the end of October, buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires and get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Need more information? Go to the website, GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire for Speed Freaks for the last 2 decades.
We now have answers to all those questions about the first 3 races in the NASCAR playoffs. Thousands, including the Freaks, argued that the races were too tough for a championship opener, that potential champions would be eliminated too quickly in the playoffs. What we didn't consider was how the races at Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol were perfect to decide a 2024 NASCAR Cup champion. Atlanta was a super fast oval. The Glen was the technical challenge a champion needed to answer. And Bristol Saturday night was a super fast bull ring and a different kind of a challenge a champion should overcome. All identities for NASCAR in 2024. Shaken out after Bristol were past champions having an inconsistent season and inconsistent newcomers who aren't ready to ascend to a champion stage. Now we have 12 reaching for a champion's perfection in the next 3 rounds. That includes the boredom at Kansas, the random speed at Talladega, and a technical roval in Charlotte. NASCAR is embracing racecraft diversity for its 2024 championship. I think that's a good thing. Peace.
Your Statman Scat, again, brought to you by good friends at General Tire. Go to GeneralTire.com to find out how you can get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card from General Tire, Freak Nation. Good Statman, in embracing the first 3 races of the playoffs, and then, of course, the next 3 races. And we posed that question to a number of drivers, and they seem to follow along in your sentiment that, yeah, we embraced the change of these playoff races, going from, again, Atlanta, Watkins Glen to where we are with Bristol. They may not end up fantastic races as far as you're concerned, Freak Nation, but damn it, isn't that what we wanted? We wanted to change it up, Crasher, when it came to the playoffs, to where it's just not oval after yes. Cookie cutter?
Yes, which is what we got the late 2000s and throughout most of the 2010s. So yes, this whole process, not just of having an elimination format after 3 races and doing that 3 times before your championship final event, but just the diversity of tracks is good. And I think, like you said, the drivers, when we asked them maybe about a month or so ago, they also have embraced this change of diversity in the track formats and said, yeah, basically what it's doing is it's forcing us to step up when we need to most, when the championship is on the line, when a cut is on the line. And these first 3, holy cow, Atlanta, which is kind of a quasi semi Daytona Talladega high speed track, then to a road course, then to this Coliseum high banked wackiness that is Bristol. Even though it didn't turn out like Bristol's of the past, you still had to step up. You still had to go those 500 laps in completely grueling conditions. Who was it? Was it Chase Briscoe that said, my arms each feel like they had a tetanus shot overnight? And some of the other drivers saying, my arms are just completely shot. That's Bristol. Kyle Larson made it look easy. It's not. But yes, in the championship, which is what we're in the middle of now, the playoffs for that championship, you got to master all kinds of tracks. Thank you, NASCAR, for making this the way that it needs to be.
You know, it also has to do with the teams, because if you can't give the driver a good car, I mean, what's the point of all this? You know, you can get a great driver with a bad car, and he's running in the third 5. He's trying to get into the top 10. So, yes, I think this is a real challenge for the team, the driver, everybody, to get a champion. And I think that's a good thing for deciding a champion in the current NASCAR Cup Series.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace kind of said as much in his post-race comments. He said something like, I appreciate the effort. It stings running this well right now, talking about his team in the last several races when you're not in the playoffs, but it does make you hungrier for next year. It's like, yeah. So this challenge by the crew chiefs, the crews, just everybody involved in the team, they've stepped up. They've found what works now. Too bad they have to wait another year. But yeah, it's a challenge. We just are finding out now who knows how to make it work.
Richard C. Suave. Kyle Larson holds a record now for Hendrick Motorsports. How many laps did he lead at Bristol?
462 laps out of the 500 laps at Bristol.
Kyle Larson talking about records, and do they matter to him?
Whenever I'm done racing or done being a driver at Hendrick Motorsports, and those records are still there, then yeah, it'll mean a lot to me. But for right now, it's like you're just trying to do a good job, and the records will take care of themselves, I guess. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be able to kind of think about it more when I'm down the road.
When I'm retired and I have more time to think.
It is interesting to hear Stat Crasher Suave, a driver, talk like that, not similar to how we are with baseball, with Ohtani being the first 50-50 player, and how baseball is just based on these records and beating these records. But you got a dude like Kyle Larson going, look, it's what a G-Dam championship. It's cool if I look back 20 years from now and laps. Just not really embracing it, I guess, is cool. Man, it's a lot of folks.
I wouldn't say he's not embracing it. I would say he's just not thinking about it very much. I think he's embracing it. Like, whoo, that's another one. Okay. But then on to the next weekend.
But we're not hammering it. It's just.
Yeah, we're not. As a media or fan base, you're right.
Yeah. And again, you look at a guy what Kyle Larson's doing or has done, props, man. Carry it with you. Take those records. Kyle Larson talk more about, was the car perfect? Well, according to Kyle Larson.
So the only run where I got like a little bit, where I had to think like, okay, is the track changing, or did I just overrun my right rear tire, or what was the second run of the race? And I once I got to the third run, I just came to the conclusion that in the second run, I just ran too hard. I passed Suarez, and then he was able to get back kind of by me, and I pushed, pretty hard for, 15, 20 laps. And once I eventually got clear of him or a couple guys, then I was like out of the racetrack, and it was just slick and loose and just less grip.
But you go on and set a track record, or actually a Hendrick Motorsports record. And what were those numbers, Crash? Suave, do you have those numbers of the other Hendricks drivers comparing what Kyle Larson did, laps led for Hendricks?
When it comes to the Team Hendrick, that'd be Richie.
Yeah, I wasn't able to find all the dang stories. They had a graphic last night on NBC that was great, and it actually listed everybody that had led 400 or more laps in a race for Hendrick Motorsports. And of course, nobody has put that out anywhere on the gosh darn internet, so I couldn't find it. The only thing I remember off the top of my head was that Jeff Gordon led 400 to 400 laps, I believe, in a race in New Hampshire many years ago. And that was like the closest thing I could think of.
So that was the most laps led by a driver for Rick Hendrick ever until Saturday night.
No, there was more. There was more somewhere. I mean, somebody else had the record before as well, but I don't have the record. I don't have the information.
But Kyle Larson now holds the record for Rick Hendrick.
That's all that matters. Yeah, exactly.
But when it comes to Bristol, the last time anyone went over 400 laps led was Kyle Busch in 2008, and I believe it was 418, something like that. And then when it comes to the all-time at Bristol, Cale Yarborough, April of 1977, and I believe I could be off by a couple of laps, but still 490-something, 492, 496 of the 500. Yeah.
Hey, look.
That's domination.
Again, we got about a minute here, but playing off of Statman's scat, just the diversity that we have in the playoffs for NASCAR for the 2024 season. Props, man. I mean, I don't recall a year that we've been on the air for the last 24 years where more drivers, NASCAR in particular, mentioning we want it to be up to the drivers to win the race, not necessarily the track. Excuse me, the tracks per se. We want it to be a driver's championship, and damn it, that's what you're going to get with the diversity of these tracks that you're running on. Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol. We're moving on to more diversity.
And we're moving on with another super speedway and another, quasi cookie cutter. Kansas has gotten a lot more racy in the past. And then another road course, Roval.
Right.
So, yeah, more diversity this next round.
Freak Nation, his name is, we're going to do Rico Abreu next, Crasher? Or no, Lane. We're going to do Lane Riggs.
We're going to keep going NASCAR.
Yeah, let's do Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs with another big NASCAR Truck Series win. That's 2 wins in a row. Milwaukee and then Bristol. He joins us next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, it's his first time to join us here in the Speed Freaks pits, although I did tell him back in the day, his old man spent many a time here in the Freak Nation. Scott Riggs, his son Lane Riggs, now doubles up with the NASCAR Truck Series wins of the last couple of weekends. And let's get some things out of the way, man. First of all, you're taller than your old man, Scott Riggs, right?
I am, not by a whole lot, but I definitely am taller. I'm not quite sure where I got the tall gene from. I'm taller than everybody in my family. So I'm not sure what happened there.
And I will say this, man, he was always so good to us. And this is 20 years ago, where he'd win a race and he was on the show every time. He was responsible as a driver. I don't know if it was a PR person or if that's just within his genes, but damn it, Scott Riggs would show up for every interview, buddy.
That's right. I try to do the same thing, live by the same thing. If you ask me to do something, if I tell you I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Freak Nation, Lane Riggs. He won in Bristol the week before. It's bananas.
Oh, no. The month before in Milwaukee.
The month before there in Milwaukee. It's bananas, the fact that you're not in the playoffs, but you go out here and dominate these two races. What the hell happened? What did you find, man?
I'm really not sure, because I was trying to think about, like, what did we do different? I'm like, I think it's really just time that told. The experience that we've learned over the year, and we've just – I didn't really know what I needed as a driver, to go fast in these trucks. My crew chief, Dylan, didn't quite figure out what I need yet. And, we're both rookies. We're both trying to figure this all out every single weekend. And I think we just had some really bad weekends. We had some fast trucks sometimes. They just didn't really go well. And we had nothing to show for it on the stat sheet. But then we just finally hit on something. We ran 5th at IRP, a track that's really good to me. Got to build on that, went and ran 5th at Richmond. I think we should have finished 2nd or 3rd. I think we were really good that race. And then we go out and dominate at Milwaukee and then go and dominate at Bristol again. It's like, finally, I know what it takes in that feel that I need to be able to go fast. And my crew chief knows what that is to give to me. So it just takes a lot of time and a lot of races and experience to get it. We don't have a lot of practice to go try stuff and learn things. It's like, the only time we're going to learn is just the next week's race, and everything's on the line when you're doing it. So it's so hard to learn and progress as a team and driver and crew chief in a series where you don't get much time to try things or learn how to do it, except when it's all on the line. So I think that, if we knew what we knew now, and I felt as comfortable as I do now in a truck, and he felt as comfortable on the pit box and, in the shop as a crew chief, I think we could have been having this success right out of the gate. It just, everything takes time. It's all a process.
It is all a process. And now you guys have put the field on notice, because losing is a part of sports. Getting 2nd place, getting 5th place, getting last place. It's a part of sports. And you could just continue that cycle if you wish. But you guys have shown, you've learned from those finishes, and the cycle is different now. So are you guys already looking ahead to 2025? Or are you like, come on, we're going to finish out 2024 as badass as we can?
We're doing both of those things. I think that every single race, we're going to go try to win it. We're going to put everything on the line, and we're going to take the risks. If that's pit strategy, if that's, shooting a gap on the racetrack that a playoff guy or a guy going for the championship wouldn't do, I'm going to take that risk. What do we have to lose besides, who wants to go finish 2nd in these races? You got to go win these things. That's all it pays for us right now, is winning races. So, we're going to go try to win the rest of them all year long. But, you got to stay humble about it. Know that, it is ironic that we won 2 in a row. We could easily go out to Kansas next weekend and finish, run 25th all day long. That's just part of the sport. It can knock you back down really quick. So, we're going to celebrate it. We're going to enjoy what we got going on. And you reap the rewards of what we've done so far, but at the same time, just we're focused on the next one. We know we have to try just as hard and work the same amount at it, and we could very well go out and flop. Who knows? But we're going trying to get big trophies. Those are the cool things that everybody shoots for. But yes, everything's going in the notebook for next year, and we're going to be, like I said it at the racetrack right after we won. I think we're going to be really hard to beat next year.
You are going to be fun to watch, that's for sure. Is there anything that can be learned, though, from Bristol moving forward for the rest of the races this year? Bristol's a track that it's so high banked, it's hard to see. Things come at you really quickly. Are you more learning from tracks like Milwaukee and that win, or does Bristol even matter what you learned there for the rest of the year?
No, I think Bristol, to me, even though Milwaukee's twice the size, Milwaukee felt more like a short track than Bristol does. Like Bristol, you're going so fast, there's so much G-force and load. I mean, Bristol feels like a 1.5 mile track, the way you're just, going, you feel like you're going so fast. Milwaukee, I mean, we were going faster on the speed, but the corners are so flat, like that feels more like a short track than Bristol does. So I think it's just that same thing. You're just building every single race, getting better. We ran, I think we finished 10th in the spring at Bristol, and I was, left the track. That was our first top 10 as a team. And I knew we weren't that good, and we came wholesale differently this time. But yes, no, I think there's a lot we can take from it. My crew chief, like I said, he's learning me more every single race. I'm giving better feedback. I'm more confident in telling him what I need and being, harsh about it. Say, my truck's bad. We need this change. Where before, earlier in the season, I'm like, I think we're okay, or I think we're not that good, and I'm not really that sure. Now that you win and you have a really amazing truck like I did this past weekend, you know what you need and that feel you need to be able to go fast, and you can apply that to every racetrack.
Lane Riggs, winner of the last 2 truck races, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. I saw you talking to some images of you talking to Cup drivers. Did the drivers in the truck series, did they talk to you the same after you won the last 2 races? I know sometimes they'd say, he's a rookie, he's that. But when you started winning, maybe they talked to you a little differently, right?
I think that I've definitely earned their respect. There's a lot of guys I enjoy racing around, Corey Heim and, Tom Majeski. Me and him have ran pretty close past couple races. And, Raja, he's a good friend of mine. It's funny, he actually mentioned it in his interview. Me and him had the same birthday, same year and day and everything.
Yeah, he also, wait a minute, Lane, he also told some interviewer when you were out there burning the track down, he said, that was me.
Yeah, I did. I just actually watched the replay yesterday, so I watched that. I got a good little chuckle out of that. But yeah, me and him are good friends, and I think that when you're racing on the racetrack too, like they see my truck, and instead of saying, "Oh, the rookie stripe kid," it's like, no, that guy's the real deal. He knows how to get it done. I can't push him around, or I can't intimidate this guy, or try to push him down. He's already thriving and doing well. So I think that gives a little bit of that, veteran type respect to me, even though I still have the rookie stripes on the back of the truck. I've proven myself now, and I think that definitely earns the respect of my competitors.
You said something I've never heard before. You thanked your agent in the post-race interview. How did that come about? Were you just happy to get in that truck, or I've never heard that before. I've been doing this 25 years.
Well, he told me he's been a great friend. He was actually helped Dad get his first couple rides, and he said he wanted to keep the family tradition going. He knew I had the talent to do it. He wanted to make sure that I got the right opportunities, and he's worked really hard for me behind the scenes. He said the only thing that I want you to do for me is when you get your first win, I want you to thank me. And I was like, I'll do it. And then I totally forgot at Milwaukee. It was so in the moment. I'm dealing with my shoulders out of socket. I'm just in shock. Don't even know what to do. And I got back to the pits and I was like, dang it. I'm like, I promised somebody something and I forgot to do it. So I said, I promise you in my next race, I'll make it happen. And he's like, you don't have to do that. I was just messing with you. So I wanted to prove him wrong.
I saw you talking to Ryan Blaney in one of the images. I think it's on your website or somewhere. And he's a Ford driver. You're a Ford driver. Are you in the Ford upline? Is there a chance that you could go up? And there's not a lot of teams that are Ford teams. Is that frustrating? What's going on with you and Ford, or is that just a thing with Front Row right now?
Well, I mean, getting connected with Ford through Front Row has been a great thing. They give a lot of resources to us drivers. They keep our vehicles going fast in all 3 national series. And yeah, I mean, I would say that they've invested in me. Front Row's invested in me, and hopefully I can be one of the Ford pipeline drivers that gets the next opportunity to move up in a Ford. It's been great so far. Ford kind of had a rocky start at the beginning of the season in all 3 series. But right now we are really turning it up as an organization and a manufacturer. I think we've won the majority of the past couple races. I know Cole Custer won yesterday and last night in the Xfinity race as a Ford. So yeah, it's been great. Hopefully I can be the one to be pipeline right up to the bigger series here in the near future.
And coming up next, the Tony Stewart-owned Eldora Speedway is quickly becoming one of those crown jewel tracks for fans and drivers alike that they want to win. We have your winner from Saturday night, High Limit Racing's own Rico Abreu. He joins us next, right here, SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Well, Freak Nation, make it 4 crowns in a row. That's four crowns for Rico Abreu joining us here in the Freak Nation. And if my math serves me correctly, it's Rico's 4th title, 11th at Eldora as far as wins go for Rico. Ties him with J.J. Yaley, Kyle Larson, Jerry Coons Jr., and I believe Steve Butler with 8th most at the 4-crown history. He joins us now here in the Freak Nation. But I think the story, though, Rico Abreu, is you calling your shot for Scott Bloomquist and saying, you got to win this thing if you're going to represent Bloomquist. And you did it, dude.
You do got to win. What a special weekend for us and my team. And, to pay tribute to Mr. Bloomquist, just something special from us and the sprint car community, doing something really cool like that, makes those wins extra special. Race a little harder, coming to the end, knowing it was coming down to the wire. We had a little pressure put on us by Jacob Allen. So incredible racing all weekend at Eldora. We were so close to winning on Friday, and then put together, a solid race on Saturday to put us in victory lane.
Rico Abreu joining us here in the Freak Nation, flying those Lucas Oil colors. And Rico, frankly, that does inspire you. When you're in the cockpit, are you thinking about Scott Bloomquist and really what you have to do to win this damn race? There is motivation in your blood to win this thing?
I was, I've always had so much passion for Eldora Speedway. So I was just, really focused on hitting my marks. We had some great track position last night, and to be able to, lead all 30 laps, I think, I got into a little battle with Brad Sweet early on, and, and just made sure I understood, my pace and lap traffic and stuff. But, Eldora is a great track that's wide enough that creates, the product of racing that it creates is lots of racing. So you can start from anywhere, and if you put yourself in good position throughout the race and restarts, with timing and stuff, you can get to the front pretty quickly. So it was just a special weekend. What was really cool is lots of fans. The 4-crown has definitely grown. Obviously 4 classes with wing cars, midgets, non-wing sprint cars, and Silver Crown cars all race on Saturday night. It's a long day, and they do an unbelievable job, just putting the whole event on all together and allowing us to race on some incredible track surface.
Rico Abreu, winner 4 times now with High Limit Racing, the High Limit Sprint cars. What is it about Eldora? You touched on at the beginning of that last answer, in that you really love racing the Eldora dirt. What specifically, if you know, is it about Eldora that just makes you shine?
I've just always had so much passion, every time going there, and the history from Earl Baltus to the exchange to Tony Stewart, and my relationship with Tony Stewart, and the efforts Eldora Speedway, how welcoming all the employees are to the drivers and teams and fans. And they run a tight ship. And I really set that an example to my race team, and going there with an incredible crew of guys that work on my car to consistently get it up front I'm in a very fortunate position. So, I've always admired Eldora, like I said, the history, being able to walk up into the grandstands before and after the races and interact with the fans, and the access the fans have, down in the pit area I enjoy every second of it. And I think about it a lot, and think about, the events that Eldora put on, from the King's Royal to the 4-crown to Let's Race 2 to, everything they do for the late model world and the 100 and the Dream, and just how, incredible these events have become over the years is pretty special.
I wanted to talk to you about your 2024 season because, and maybe it's just me, but it seems like you've always been a driver for the fans, but it seems like you've even opened yourself up more. I love watching your stuff on social media, talking to the fans, talking to people with similar likes and maybe even some dislikes. Is there something different about your approach to 2024? Because number one, you're seemingly more relaxed in the cockpit as well because of possibly just being yourself more. Am I reading you wrong?
No, I mean, I think it's seen pretty easily. So I've definitely changed the structure of things and just really wanted to tell more of a story, about my career and where it's come and where I'm at in my life, with the ups and downs in racing. Racing's so difficult, and we're all out here getting the opportunity to do what we love and racing in front of the best fans in the world. So I think it's really important that the race fans have an incredible experience at the races. And that's kind of my balance with, for those fans that don't get to come to the races and that watch on, Flow or Mav or Dirt Vision and don't have that initial opportunity of being there in the present moment and, building that relationship with them through social media and just kind of utilizing it as a tool. And, at the management level, I've really wanted to ramp things up and allow race fans to feel connected and which is important to me and my brand and the direction I've been wanting to take it.
I was watching you drive on the top against the berm and down on the bottom, especially in some of that stuff with Brad Sweet. You were cutting him off when he thought he had you covered. That changes every lap, doesn't it? You got to know whether to race on the top or on the bottom.
It does. That's the product of racing at Eldora Speedway, and which is really unique about that track surface and how much it changes throughout a race. So you really have to judge your pace off of, racers in front of you. And if you're in position of leading or running up front, you can judge it off your pace off of lap traffic and what lap cars are running away from you, or have a little bit more speed in certain areas of the track. So I knew right away that I kind of missed my corner in 3 and 4 with Brad on the first lap and could hear him instantly, coming on the top, and he was going to make a big move into 1 and 2. So just setting myself up to counter his move and to be able to get down the back straightaway, and knew that he wasn't, running anywhere from the 3/4 lane down. So he was way up on the wall in 3 and 4 to get a big run like that. So moved up and tried to take his line away and just really, really focused on running my race. And that was a big thing to me, is race the racetrack and let these races play out and adapt and just make sure you're in position the last, 10 to 5 laps to win one of these things.
Does racing the racetrack include racing the lapped cars? And do you know when you come up on a guy that you know who that is and he's a clown and doesn't know what he's doing, and you gotta choose whether to go high or low to get around him?
Sometimes it gets tricky, with lap traffic, and everyone's racing for position out there, and everyone's racing their hearts out. So you can't sit here and knock anybody for being competitive on the racetrack. So I just try to understand if I'm ever in position of leading, when I'm catching, just study, within, those quick, laps, that you're studying where the car in front of you is running. So if he's on the bottom consistently, you're going to have to find a way to search around him up top or through the middle. And if the car in front of you is on the top, you're going to have to find a way. So that's why it's really important to work on the balance of your car, getting it good in other places on the racetrack, top, bottom, middle, and securing those positions while you're out there. And some guys change their mind right when you catch them and you're in lap traffic, or that's the product of sprint car racing and what makes it so exciting.
Coming up on you with all the crowd, all the cars, all the noise, the tires and the dirt and your concentration. You heard a car coming up behind you and you knew it was Brad Sweet, and you knew how to think of what to do to keep him behind you all at the same time?
You definitely sense that stuff. And, with how loud our engines are, and when they get close to each other, you can overhear, someone near you and understand that if you miss your corner or your mark on the racetrack by a couple inches, you really feel, the car slow down or spin the tires, and you made a big mistake there, especially on half miles where the speeds are so fast. A little mistake, minute mistake can be so compounding on a track that big. And I knew I missed my corner just a tick off turn 4, and opened the door up for Brad Sweet, and I didn't want to go and do anything silly by trying to block him, and get into a defensive mode and just really focus on what's ahead and be an offense when, a guy like that makes a move on you and have a quick counter. It's all about critical thinking in sprint car racing. We have 30 laps so you have to make your decisions very quick, and understand kind of how these races are playing out, So and I'm lucky I've been doing it for 13 years. So I got a lot of experience there.
How do you not love the guy? Rico Abreu here in the Freak Nation, dude running for a championship. Coming up the second hour of the Freaks, Dale Earnhardt Jr. joins us. And the second winningest Top Fuel driver ever, Antron Brown. He is on a tear. Big second hour of the Freaks coming up. Freak Radio Network and on MAV TV.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of SpeedFreaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAV TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAV TV Go has something for everyone. MAV TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Please hang up and try again.
Live on the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
My car was really good. I've had lots of great race cars at Hendrick Motorsports. Sometimes they've turned into wins. A lot of times, they haven't. I look at, kind of one that is more recent would probably be like Iowa this year. I felt like my car was extremely good there. And just unfortunately, didn't close out that one. But yeah, I don't know. 2021, I had a lot of great cars. I don't know. I could, if I looked at the schedule, I could probably point out some great cars, but tonight was definitely one of them.
The Dominator, Saturday night at Bristol. Kyle Larson moving on to the next round. Brad Kozlowski, Martin Truex Jr., Harrison Burton, and Ty Gibbs Jr. Ty Gibbs is not moving on. Coming up this hour, Antron Brown will be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Speaking of winners, man, dude wins again in Charlotte. Weekend before, Maple Grove. He'll be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Also, we're going to hear from Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the trials, speaking of trials and tribulations he had to go through to get in and out of that car Friday night for Bristol. Be sure to be a part of this big old thing, Freak Nation. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the website, speedfreaks.tv. And, of course, Richard C. Suave, Statman Crash, and yours truly. 24 years, Freak Radio Network and on MAV TV. Suave, we touched on this last hour, but let's get a little bit more. Let's get a little bit deeper. You talked about Jeff Gluck's poll regarding the race. What was the other thing you wanted to mention?
Yeah. So again, Jeff Gluck's was Bristol a good race poll?
Got it.
73% said no. 73% said no. And where that ranks in terms of the history of the was it a good race poll? Jeff Gluck keeps track of this on his website. He's tracked every race since 2016. Oh. There are only 12 races in the history of the Jeff Gluck poll that got a higher percentage of no votes.
Oh, wow. Since 2016, only 12 other races.
That's correct. And Bristol Night Race was not the worst race of 2024. Can you guys guess what the worst race of 2024 was according to the Jeff Gluck Good Race poll?
Martinsville.
No.
Texas.
No.
Statman, who you got?
I'm going to say Pocono. It's always bad.
Martinsville was close, but the worst race of 2024 so far is Charlotte, the Coke 600. That got 75.6% no.
Ooh.
A lot of extenuating circumstances surrounding that, though, so I don't think that technically counts.
Oh, people still voted. It counts.
Yeah.
Mother Nature has her hand in every weekend, so it counts.
If you think of, oh my goodness, I don't want to rehash that at all. Okay, we'll rehash it a little bit. The expectations for that race, if you recall, that was Kyle Larson doing the double where they had a camera 24/7 following this dude to the IMS, into the car, out of the car to IMS, flying with him in a helicopter, give him the bat phone, what? It was madness. And then Kyle Larson, due to weather, couldn't get into the car. I get it. The anticipation was there. But come on. Really? Settle down. Got a few other races that at least it kept us glued to the television or to your device to watch the race, right?
As did Bristol, the alleged 73% no vote of it being a good race. Bristol still kept you glued because of what was going to happen to Martin Truex Jr., what was going to happen to Ty Gibbs. Is Denny Hamlin going to be able to actually move on? We didn't think so. Coming into it, he did.
So we've got some candidates for the Freakies for the end of the year.
Yes. Mark those down, will you? Another one of the names that had a lot of intrigue, Freak Nation, had nothing to do with the Saturday night race at Bristol, had everything to do, Suave, Friday night with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and what he had to go through to, frankly, get into the car, get through the race, and then get out of the car for the post-race interview.
First of all, I would just like to point out that the Xfinity race this year was terrific. It was great. And I watched every single lap of that race, and it was 10 times better than anything the Cup Series put together. And part of what made that race so good is the trials and tribulations of one Dale Earnhardt Jr. He was back in the car. He says that this is going to be his last Xfinity race, maybe ever. So that led into it too. But so Dale Jr. at the beginning of the race did not have a working radio, came into the pits to try and get it fixed, still didn't get it to work. So they gave him a brand new helmet, finally got the helmet to work and the radio to work. And then, it turns out that when he took the helmet off, he also took off his glasses. So he couldn't see for a part of his stint. So they had to come back down pit road and give him his glasses back. So he was stuck in the back, had to race back up to the front, use some strategy, ended up finishing in the top 10. And it was really, really fun to watch Dale Jr. run that race. And he spoke to CW Sports after the race, which was airing this race. Do you guys know where CW Sports is? The CW is on your antenna television. Do you know that it even exists?
No, but for Hulu people like Kenny and I are, everything's alphabetical. I would imagine it's in the C's.
So much easier. It took me 10 minutes to find where this race was. But anyway, Dale Earnhardt Jr. spoke to Marty Snyder after the race, and this is what he said.
Yeah, I'm having some problems with my helmets and stuff and the wiring, earplugs and all that stuff.
Hold on a second. Is this sped up like 1, 2 times? Listen to how high his voice is and how fast he's talking. Am I the only one that thinks
I don't think it sounds weird.
No, that's Dale, man.
Everything is designed to go to Grand Ole Opry.
I'm sure I'll miss it. Yes, you will.
Dale
misses doing some talking on TV, doesn't he?
They'll also miss giving him a little bigger check that will make him feel a whole lot more interested in running some.
Does Dale carry anywhere close the weight that he did when he was front and center in the Cup car?
As in popularity weight?
Yeah. Are we?
Yeah, I think so.
Are we on the edge of our seat when Dale speaks like we used to be?
He's got the Dale Jr. download that people reference on a weekly basis and his entire media network that he has built up. So yes, is it to the absolute degree of when he was an actual driver and in the cockpit week in and week out? Maybe not, but it's still very high up there, in my opinion.
He's right behind Denny Hamlin. He is. Everybody listens to Denny's podcast and he makes news seemingly on a weekly basis. So Dale Jr.'s right below it.
And Dale Jr. will carry weight until there's a Dale Jr. He will always be.
He's got 2 girls. Not going to be a Dale Jr.
Yeah, he will always be out there. Exactly.
That's the actual name of a band, by the way, Statman. Did you know that? There's a name of a band called Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it country and western music?
No.
I have no idea.
It's not? You're for sure, Kenny?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm for sure.
What is it?
We're getting to
Nobody.
This is way more entertaining than the actual Bristol race. So
We could have a poll on that. You know, would you rather watch the Bristol race or Dale Jr.
Depends on their music genre, Kenny. Please do spill.
Why does it? We
Is it
got 30
metal?
seconds.
they've changed their name. It's now Junior now.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wah, wah. Sorry, Dale.
They're pop. They're like indie pop, Crash. They're not country. Settle down.
Oh,
God.
Okay. I said metal.
Holy smokes. Hey, moms and dads with kids looking for motorsports books. We have an author of a fantastic book you might want to stick around for. Also coming up, Antron Brown, freaking dominating the top fuel class last couple of races in the NHRA. He joins us next.
Points leader.
It's
in top
bananas.
fuel.
He is on fire. Antron Brown next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Freak Nation, Antron Brown is back in the Freak Nation, and this is the kind of carte blanche that Antron Brown has with us. He doesn't need to win to be invited in the Freak Nation, but damn it, it certainly helps when Antron Brown wins. Antron, you are back in the Freak Nation, and I'm looking at the point differential between the top 4 Top Fuel drivers versus all the other categories. And no category is tighter than you guys, where there's 33 points that separates the 4 of you guys. One hiccup between now and Pomona, I would think would be devastating. But congratulations, first of all.
Thanks, Kenny, man. We just, the thing is, came in 5th, and we kind of messed up on the last 2 races before the countdown because we were on a march. Like we got within literally like 40 points of second place and literally 100 points within first. And we kind of qualified well. We just missed our stride on race day. We just had some bad first round losses, like tight races and stuff like that. And us just being too aggressive. And then we came in the countdown, and man, we're just still growing and learning. And we're almost there, brother. We haven't peaked yet, and we're still winning races this year. And I'm super pumped, super proud of our Matco Tools Lucas Oil team. We've won 4 races. You count the Mission Too Fast, Too Tasty challenges and the Pep Boys shootout race, the call-out race. We've won 7 races already this year. So if you count all that. So our team is definitely hitting the right stride this year. We've been super competitive. And to pull out the first race in the countdown, brother, we're off to a good start. We got the blocks good.
Yep.
Now we've got to get up and hit the stride at these next 2 events because it really sets the tone for this championship without a doubt.
Did you hear him with that track and field reference? Out of the blocks good, now ready to hit the stride. Then we'll get to Pomona when we go crossing through the tape.
That's right. Pomona, hopefully we can stand up a little early and look over, kind of like how Shakia Richardson does every once in a while.
Yes.
Antron, listen, you were rolling through your Rolodex of stuff you need to say in that last answer for me when you said we're just learning. No, you're not learning. You've got it down, man. You just said you have 7 freaking wins this year. You done learned it.
Well, it's not just learning. The thing about it is we're always constantly trying to improve. And when you can win while you're learning, that is incredible because we're starting to get to where we need to be and our window's getting better. But we still have a lot of room for improvement. Like, I think our best race this year that I can honestly tell you was Sonoma, California. Hands down on race day, we were the car to beat. We outran everybody every round all the way through to the final. So when you get victories like that, that's when you're in that groove. And right now, man, we're still racing tight races and we're there with people. And then we dropped low ET first round eliminations with the 72. Then the next 2 rounds, the track got really tricky and we made it down better than the components that we were racing, but we didn't make full laps. And in the final, we ran good enough to beat Sean Langdon. We outran him by 5,000. I had him off the tree a little bit, and we got the win. So if we can keep on just going down the racetrack and getting better to where we go, we nailed it. Then that's when you're where you need to be. And the countdown's here, so you need to be there like that. You know what I mean? And everybody's not there. So the thing about it is we just want to be the best of what's out there. And I feel like we have room for improvement without a doubt.
You said you nailed it, and you also referenced the Sonoma Nationals, and that was your best race of this year. What was so keen about making Sonoma so seemingly effortless? I know it wasn't, but seemingly effortless that you can replicate at St. Louis, at Pomona, every other race in the countdown where you need it?
It's Crash. It starts off with qualifying, and Brian Karate and Mark Oswald, Brad, and all of our Matco Tools boys, Lucas Oil boys, what they do that is so right is when you come out and you start qualifying right and you go down to qualifying every lap and you're at the top of the heap in every lap, then you're able to translate that to race day. And you come out to race day, and when you're making moves, this is the difference. When the crew chief makes a move and the car listens and does what he wants it, what they wanted to do, that's when you're locked in. And that's how we were in Sonoma. And Top Fuel, I tell this to people all the time. Sometimes you're lucky the car just starts. Trust me, it's like if it starts. So when it actually acts like you want it to act, and you can go out there and manipulate the racetrack, and it listens, and you do it, and then you can run ETs that people don't think you can run on that temperature or racetrack, you're locked in. And then when you get to that realm, that's what it takes to win races. And then if you could do that through the countdown, that's what wins championships.
One thing that was cool about your win in Reading was that also and I'm going to say in air quotes, teammate Angel won in Top Alcohol Dragster. Is it a benefit to have her racing on the same weekend as you? I wouldn't imagine any data translates, but does it? And is there any sort of a benefit to it, or is it a little more stressful?
Well, this is the thing. I tell people this all the time. At the U.S. Nationals, I had my son Anson was racing Super Comp, and Angel was racing A Fuel, and we were racing Top Fuel. That was chaos. I was there at the crack of dawn for Anson. Then I raced, and then Angel was there late at night. So I was there from sun up to sundown. And let me tell you something. That wore me out. Remember, I'm a sprinter. I'm not a marathoner. Okay, that was like the Boston Marathon, and brother was out. My legs got short strides, not long strides. Right. So at the end of the day, when you do have some extra deals in different categories, and the MBR, the Mahalik Brother race team with the Hanksfors, FVP, Mission Foods, Lucas Oil Car, I tell you what, that was a dream to partner up and see the talent that team has, and to actually put them together with Angel and to actually give them the tools to grow, to be successful. And I tell you what, that team is amazing beyond belief, because they're so sharp and knowledgeable, and to see where they came from, where they were a car that they were competitive, to a car that can win races on every weekend now. And then to see Angel take to it and drive like she's driving, cutting lights, keeping the car straight in the groove, parachutes out on time. I mean, Top Fuel's right around the corner for her, and that's what we're growing. And that's the route that I definitely want to see my son take and go that route too. Angel's just paving that way, so I'm learning from that to translate to him too. So hopefully one day I could have 3 Top Fuel cars or 4 Top Fuel cars, but I have some sponsorship that go along with it, because that's the whole thing that makes us go. We need partnerships. Help a brother out. Help a brother out.
Okay, so before we get to Statman, I know you got a couple questions, Statman. Are you basically announcing here that Angel may run some Top Fuel with you in 2025?
I don't know. That all depends on partnership. But for sure, we're definitely going to have her another full season at A Fuel to try to run for a championship. And but we're working on it. I believe she's ready, and she's got all the necessary tools. She's got the determination. She's got the passion, and we all know how that girl works. She works her tail off. She works hard. She's she first went to track, last one to leave, out there signing autographs and going to every convention I send her to promote and to do what she needs to do to make it happen. And that's the hard thing to find. It's hard to find those drivers that got the full piece of the pie. Like Justin Ashley, he is a dream driver. Races good, talks good, works good. Angel's in that same category. There's a few others like it, but there's not many of them out there.
Wow. Antron Brown, Reading winner, Top Fuel. The thing that's fascinated me most about SpeedFreaks is watching how small the line is, how thin the line is between winning and not winning.
Man, that's one of those deals where you show up and you just have to have that confidence. Your whole team has to go in the mindset that you can win on any given Sunday, like a professional sport does. You can't go in there defeated. You can't go in there beat up. You got to go in there and say, hey, I got just as good a chance as anybody. All we have to do is focus and put the right foot forward. And if you mess up, you got to learn from that. Our team struggled for 2 years. And then we came out that funk the first year that we actually took the team over as a team owner, because we made some big changes. And when we made the changes, there were monumental changes that we made on our car. We got all the best parts and pieces that we thought that were available. Then we had to learn and make that a combination. And then that took 1.5 years to get that right, even though we were still competitive. Now it's all come together where our stuff's running better and everything else. And that's going with like DMP on their blowers. It's going with Cupcake from CNC Performance Clutches. It's getting people like that together and going with different parts and pieces, working with all the DSM parts and pieces, 0.1 blocks. Like you get all the different things that you think that's better, you put it together, and you try to make the best package that you can go out there and win. And that's what we do on an everyday day basis. We go, that's what I want to do with this race team. We're going to run what is the best stuff out there. We want to give ourselves the best chance of winning. And if we have to change mid-season, we're going to make that change.
AB on a tear. And Freak Nation, coming up next, the trouble with Howard. Moms, dads, parents of children, got a heck of a motorsports book. It's called The Trouble with Howard. It involves real-life dirt trackers and a skunk. That's true. That's next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, Leanne Patterson joining us here in the Freak Nation. And if I read this line to you, Freak Nation, if it said, what could possibly go wrong if a skunk was in the pits at an auto race? Well, I know a few skunks, and they're on 2 feet, not 4. But this is an actual skunk, and it's part of a book, a children's book called The Trouble with Howard. And the author, again, Leanne Patterson, joining us now on the Freak Nation. I could read through this press release, but I'm not going to because we have you on this show, Leanne. Tell the Freak Nation what this book is about and how it involves a skunk and a couple of real-life folks in the pits, dirt tracks.
It's based on a true story of Howard and Anita Milliken that were racers, sprint car racers, and then went on to IndyCar works with Bobby Unser and Dan Gurney, etc. So great racers. And Anita Milliken, Howard and Anita Milliken, she was the very first woman ever licensed as an IndyCar mechanic and the very first to go over the wall as a member of the pit crew. She did so as the Jackman. She was a wonderful mechanic and a fabricator, but they were just really fun people. And on the way to a sprint car race, they rescued a baby skunk and got a little baby doll bottle feeder and took her to the race. And that just needed more care. And because they were racing every week, as sprint car people do, that skunk went to the racetrack with them. And they named him Trouble, and the name stuck. So Trouble the skunk went to all the races with them.
Hold on just a second. Now, look, I know that racers could be kind of crazy, and they might hit their head too many times. But I see a skunk, I get the F away. I don't pull the thing up and start to feed the damn thing.
Well, it was tiny. It was a little baby skunk. The mother was actually dead. We emphasize that because we actually don't want people going out and collecting baby skunks thinking this is fun. So the mom was dead, and they saw a little thing wiggling beside as they rolled down the road and went and got him. And Trouble, the real Trouble, actually never sprayed anybody, never sprayed Howard or Anita because he never felt threatened, save one. And it was a guy in the shop that didn't really like him. And when the day he was there and he shouldn't have been there, well, Trouble defended his turf.
Which, of course, you're going to need to read the book to find out, because that is part of this story, isn't it? I mean, who's going to be the unlucky spray victim? You got to read it.
Right. That's right. We were actually teasing a group of kids that were reading it too. And they asked the question, what do skunks do? And one of the little girls raised her hand and said, they fart.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Quite unpleasantly, actually.
Quite unpleasantly.
Kenny, you have your own personal skunk story with your cat.
Yeah, but listen.
I know, but
this is about
this book. And for the unlucky person that Trouble sprayed, just throwing that out there was a remedy. And the remedy you actually already knew about.
You just make sure you have gallons of tomato juice. Soup. No, it was tomato juice. Yeah. I think it was V8 that I used on Bubba's. Whatever it was. But anyway, this is Leanne's story, Crasher.
Well, and in Trouble's case, when he got to the house, Anita fed him a lot of cat food. So the real Trouble ended up being a 9-pound skunk because she fed him for a lot of years. And in the real Trouble story, they never actually descended him. It's now illegal to do that. And he did make his way back to the wild and had a family and had a bunch of little kits and lived happily ever after. And I'm sure he is still telling his stories about his time at the race. But in this particular book, we do take a few liberties and things that coulda, shoulda, may have happened. Some of the stories with Howard and Anita are he made nests in wild places. He dug into toolboxes. He jumped into coolers. He hid in trailers. So he did live up to his name and to the antics. And so we have a lot of fun with that in the book.
Trouble
Right.
Getting in trouble at the racetrack. The bottom line, though, is this is based on a true story. And what you just said blows my mind. I did not realize that. This skunk, after living a life in motorsports, went on back into the wild after it was healthy enough to do so and had its own family. I mean, that I was unaware of.
Well, in the back of the book, we do have a little bio about Howard and Anita and a little bio about Trouble, the real skunk, and how that happened. Remember that they were the inventors of the shock dyno. They were the first to put an Indy car on a flow bench. So they were formidable. But in this particular book case, we focused on their sprint car careers, and Roger Warwick does the art. Now, he's a phenomenal artist. Some people have known his work for years. He did the big legendary poster, the Last Call poster with all the caricatures of all the legends. But in this particular case, his art is so realistic, and we kept it authentic. So this is one of the few racing books for children where a sprint car looks like a sprint car. You can see the chassis roll cage. You can tell that the fuel cells look like fuel cells, and the jugs and the bungee cards, and the hauler looks like a hauler in the pit road. So we've really taken the time to make it authentic. And I think that is one of the things that has made this book popular so far with the racers, is because you can look at that and say, that's a sprint car. It could be a quarter midget or a midget, but it definitely looks like a real race car. And we have a lot of things about the racetrack that are true to the sport in this book. It's written by racers, about racers, for racers. And we had a lot of fun doing that.
Wow. Leanne Patterson is an author. Authors have great imaginations. I'm going to ask you to go deep in the weeds here. What are some of the stories that Trouble might be telling his family about his time at the racetrack? Tell us some of the stories that Trouble might be sharing with his family.
Well, let's see. Our Trouble might be telling about the time that somebody snuck into their hauler and tried to mess with Howard and Anita's stuff. And maybe there was a chase around a sprint car inside a hauler. And maybe he escapes and threatens the entire grandstands with spray. And maybe he loves to steal hot dogs. Ooh. And maybe he loves to get on a quad and ride around with Howard all the time.
Now, wait a minute. Stealing hot dogs. I'm down that road. I'd rather have a good grilled hot dog than a steak. So did Trouble get into trouble stealing hot dogs? Some of those hot dogs at some of those racetracks, I've eaten a lot of them, and some of them aren't worth remembering.
Well, he's a skunk. They pretty much eat anything that smells good.
Speaking of farts.
Trouble would even like the Martinsville pink hot dogs. So yeah, Trouble doesn't discriminate in hot dogs.
And they're not very picky,
Not at all. It's food.
So true. So true.
So the stories about at the racetrack, Howard and Anita, we don't want to gloss over this Anita part of the story.
Good point.
Especially at a time when women are stepping up to the plate, to mangle a metaphor, and becoming pretty important in racing. They're more than just keeping score or going for drinks. They are actually part of some of the best crews at the racetrack.
Wow, you just said a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm one of those gals that has been in the garage area for 30 years. And so while I don't think we've just become important, I just don't think there were too many of us.
Right.
There was a time when Anita was P1 and the very first to do what she did. And Howard held the garage door open for her. I mean, she kept her head down. A lot of people didn't know she had done it because when she went over the wall, she had balaclava over her head. So she had her headstock on and didn't really talk about it because there were people that were not happy that she was there.
Even
women that were not happy that she was there.
Hide that long braid.
Yes, she did. She had to do that, and she kept her head down. I mean, there were times when guys tried to rip the shirt off of her and say she was taking a job of a man. There were women that didn't know why she had to be, in her husband's office. They didn't do it. They didn't really understand. There were times when they had a Bluebird bus that they fixed up as a rolling machine shop. Because back then you couldn't buy a part, off a truck, right? And so if something went wrong, they went out to the bus and had to do some fabrication. Well, it's slowly but surely they recognized that Anita could do the work while she was out there because she couldn't go in the garage area. Up until 1980, women were not allowed to go in the garage area. You couldn't even walk in the door and hand a guy a set of keys or a sandwich. And so she had to sit, she would build the car in the shop, and then she'd have to sit in the car at the racetrack.
There is a website, thetroublewithhoward.com. Also, where can folks get the book?
Thetroublewithhoward.com is the best place to get it. The plush toy, the t-shirts, the skunk air freshener, that's all there too. Speedway Motorsports Inc. has started to carry it. So there's a few places like that. Look for it in other trackside online gift stores as well. The Sprint Car Hall of Fame has some of them. So people are we're just starting to kind of get it out there, but thetroublewithhoward.com is the fastest place right now.
Well, Leanne, thanks for doing this. All right.
Hey, thanks for having me on. You guys are the best. Everybody has a lot of fun with you guys, and I appreciate you taking the time to have a little skunk time with me. So.
When you do your next version, your next edition, whatever is next after the Trouble with Howard, keep us in mind. I can't wait to see where this series goes.
Absolutely. I will do so. Thank you very much.
And coming up next, the 4 drivers on the bubble to make it into the next round of the playoffs after these next 3 races. Will one of them beat out fan favorite Chase Elliott? I think so. That's next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of SpeedFreaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
This freaking segment is brought to you by our friends at Lucas Oil. Now, what automobile do you have in the garage? I bet Lucas Oil could keep that thing fat and happy and on the road. From Everyday car care, heavy-duty trucking to agriculture, hot rods, classic cars, motorcycles, and marine, Lucas Oil has what you need to keep those engines, interiors, and exteriors looking like and running like they're supposed to be. For more information, go to the web and find the perfect Lucas Oil product. Keep your rides on the road. Lucas Oil, thank you for making Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes part of the Freak Nation. Crasher, what about some updates on results over the weekend?
Well, we have not talked about the finale, the Super Motocross finale that went off at, ZMAX Dragways in Charlotte. What's the one in Vegas? It's just the Vegas drag strip was littered with dirt, and Super Motocross just went nuts with it. It's good to see in the 450s that Eli Tomac is essentially back, but this night, this championship, this 3-race championship was all about the Lawrence brothers. We'll get to that in just a little bit, because first were the 250s, where this was pretty much all about Hayden Deegan. He's been so solid throughout this championship run, so it was fitting that he ended up going out with the win and the championship and the $500,000 to go through with it. But I like that the actual race winner was Pierce Brown, winning for Red Bull and Gas, because guess what, guys? I was unaware of this. Gas is not returning for the 2025 season, so they go out with a win. The $1 million payday in the 450s, like I said, came down to the brothers, Hunter and Jet Lawrence. Jet taking the overall on the night and the title for the second year in a row as well. NASCAR ran their first playoff cutoff race at Bristol. We've been talking about it for much of the show. One thing we haven't talked about, except for interviewing him, was Lane Riggs taking an amazing win in the Truck Series, and William Sawalich in ARCA, also securing the ARCA East Championship, by the way. That was Thursday night. Cole Custer snagging the Xfinity race, Richie claiming that being the best race of the weekend at Bristol. And then complete domination, again, Kyle Larson, 462 of the 500 miles at the Tennessee Coliseum. High-limit sprint cars raced Eldora in Ohio. We talked to the winner, Rico Abreu, just a little bit ago. And, well, he pre-gamed with a solid tribute to fallen racer Scott Bloomquist, claiming in that tribute that it would only be appropriate for him to win on the dirt of Eldora. And then he did. Yes, Rico Abreu called his shot. Massive props to Rico. The NHRA playoff countdown second round was in Charlotte, ZMAX Dragway. That's why that was on my mind earlier. Everyone who won is now your points leaders in your class. Antron Brown, Austin Prock, Dallas Glenn in Pro Stock, and Matt Smith in Pro Stock Motorcycle. Oh, yeah, there was an F1 thing that went on in Singapore. Lando Norris. Congrats, McLaren. More points for the papaya.
Well, why don't we do this? We usually have 5 good minutes with Richard C. Suave with his insight to Formula One. Richie, you ready to go, buddy? Let me get this thing set up for you, my friend. We will give you the screen all by yourself. Are you ready for 5 good minutes of Formula One?
Hell yeah, let's go. It was hot. It was hot in Singapore, baby. One of the hottest.
All right, thank you, Richie. That is great. Thank you for that Formula One insight. It was hot in Singapore. That's all the news we needed to know about Formula One. Again, we do dedicate some of that time to Formula One with 5 good minutes. From time to time, we just got to cut it off because Richie gets a little too excited with what time did that race happen there, Richie?
I woke up at
all right, that's enough, Richie. That's great. Thank you very much for that Formula One insight here in the Freak Nation.
Glad I could provide.
Yeah. Drivers on the bubble. Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe.
9, 10, 11, 12. So on the bubble, the 4 below the cut line right now for these next 3 races.
Right.
Got it.
You've got 3 races where these 4 drivers have to do something to bump up into the top 8. Of those 4 drivers, Crasher, who's the one you feel, given the momentum and these style of tracks coming up, you think might bump out one of those top 8? Whether it's Logano, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, or do you think that's the way it's going to be come post 3 races from now?
So who are we talking about? We're talking about Chase Briscoe. I'm just refreshing my memory.
Okay.
Chase Briscoe, Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, and who's the 4th?
Alex Bowman.
Right. Ooh. I'm going to find it hard to believe that Alex Bowman is seriously going to be cut after these next 3 races. I mean, anything's possible, and the competition gets tougher and tougher. But I do believe Alex Bowman's going to be fresh in the top 8. He's not going to be cut like he is on the cut line right now.
Can you go another step further and say who's going to be bumped out? Do you exchange a Chevy driver with a Chevy driver?
I'm not liking this whole thing of Denny Hamlin. He didn't get lucky in Bristol to vault himself back into a padded position, but I just don't. Luck is overall not on Denny Hamlin's side. I'm going to say Bowman bumping out Hamlin.
Statman, we don't have a whole lot of conversation about Chase Elliott. He's just been sitting back there, and he's not one of the top tier drivers right now, one of the top 4 drivers. He's one of those, I believe he's sitting in the 7th spot that, again, Chase Elliott not making a whole lot of noise. Do you see Chase Elliott getting bumped out of this?
I think it's possible. I'm not a big Chase Elliott fan. I had a negative experience with him and his PR person a little while back.
Same.
What happens to him is no consequence to me. But I think he will be in the top 8. I think Austin Cindric will bump his way into the top 8. He has a pretty good control over road courses, and the Fords have been pretty strong working together at places like Kansas. I think Austin Cindric will work his way into the top 8.
We've got Kansas, Talladega, and the Roval at Charlotte. And again, just like the first 3 races, stop complaining. These 3 races will help separate the men from the boys. It's just the way it is. Chase Elliott can kick some ass on a road course. I get it, but do you wait that long to really dive into your focus of a certain track? I don't see the
Denny
momentum.
Hamlin had to wait till Bristol to have a solid performance.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson didn't need a win, but he needed a better performance. So yeah, some drivers do. Some drivers do wait until the cutoff race.
Richie, that wild card right there, Talladega, and what that can do coming up on October 6th. What that could do to some of these drivers in contention.
That's exactly what it's going to come down to, right? And it's so close to the points we're talking about. We're talking about Chase Briscoe in 12th right now, being only 7 points back of Joey Logano, who's in 8th. And there's a name who I'm going to throw this out there as somebody who I'm a little bit concerned is going to make it to the next round, and he's the regular season champion, Tyler Reddick. He's got a 20-point lead right now in terms of the cut line, but he did not have a good race at Bristol. He obviously struggled with the stomach bug in that final race of the regular season and almost lost the regular season title because of it. And I don't really like how he's been running lately. And he almost got eliminated last night too. There was a little bit there where he was near the cut line within about 10 points or so. So he's the guy I'm curious to see what happens to him in this next round, because if you're only 20 points ahead and you reckon Talladega, your season's over.
Yeah, that's true.
So again, Kansas, Talladega, and the Roval, a road course ending that round of the playoffs into the round of 8, which again, I think is fan-freaking-tastic. I still haven't seen a solid answer of why road courses aren't as popular as they should be. I say they should be because I'm a fan of road courses. I'm a fan of the dynamics of what a road course does to these drivers. And you talk about wild cards in that race. There are a number of drivers that aren't in the playoffs that could do a whole hell of a lot of damage on that road course that could help eliminate a couple of these drivers that, again, can't feed off of a road course.
You can also do the same thing at Talladega, where somebody gets sideways in the middle of the pack and wipes out about 20 cars, and 2 or 3 of those might be in the playoffs, and they lose points and disappear from the playoffs because somebody else wasn't clear on the concept.
It almost makes winning Kansas that much more of a priority, or something at a premium, because you win Kansas, you don't have to worry about Talladega and all of the question marks that are in the air with that event.
Maybe we should put this out there, Richie. I hadn't thought about this, and maybe you have, Freak Nation, that will you be watching Talladega? Again, we can talk about this next week. Will you be watching Talladega for the big one and who it takes out in the playoffs, or will you be just watching Talladega for the big one and who wins the race? Because that big one, but again, speculation, I get it. We got to get the hell out of here. That's why they race, baby. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Freak Nation. We're always trying to give away a set of General Tires with Beat the Freaks. Be sure you follow us on X at SpeedFreaks for your shot at that. Stat Man, as we've done for 24 years, shoot the juice to the moose.
And cut it loose.
See ya.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General Tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General Tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.